Hey cuties, it's your girl Tana Too Cute. It's a trending topic and I want to share my opinion. Shannon Sharpe and Amanda Sears interview. Let's get into it.
I feel good.
Wait a minute. Who
I knew that I would know. Wow.
So Amanda Sears did a recent interview with Shannon Sharpe. And I wanted to pull out just one piece of that interview just to share my perspective or my opinion on this particular topic. So in the course of this interview, they were talking about, Amanda was sharing how she has faced racism as a child in the Orlando area back in the 80s, 90s, right? So, of course, she was, the minority in that school system or in that classroom. She shared that the teacher was providing some incorrect information, and Amanda, being Amanda, raised her hand and she goes to correct the teacher. Okay, so the teacher did not like that and she scheduled a parent-teacher conference. Take a listen.
in the class with her talking, and so they came to the meeting. It was my mom and Mr. Wright and Miss Cersei. It's all black people at Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando, Florida. And this lady sat there, and actually, you and Mr. Wright had the same build. And Mr. Wright was like, all right, so, we're here to discuss Amanda disrupting the class with her talking. And she was like, no, Amanda doesn't disrupt the class with her talking. She actually helps the other students out. He's like, oh, okay. So is it about her grades? And she's like, actually, no. One of her art pieces is featured in our exhibit at the library. And he's like, so what are we here for? And she's like, well, she corrects me in front of the class. And these three black people are like, here we go with this racist bullshit. Because that's really what it is. We're in Florida in the 80s and the 90s. And
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think she would have felt equally as offended if a white kid, because I'm assuming this teacher was white, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a white child would have corrected her, I think most teachers would feel some type of way if a child corrects them.
That's not for me to surmise. I'm just saying that my experience was this lady giving wrong information.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to correct her. Now, this is the same lady who tried to accuse me of stealing. And when a white girl said, no, Amanda didn't steal it, I did. She was like, well, I think both of you need to go to the principal.
Right.
So as we heard, she shared her scenario or her experience. Shannon proposed, a comparison if it was an opposite race, what would have happened. Now, during this time, we're going to take a listen at his perspective or his opinion about Amanda staying in a child's place. Because based on where he came from or how he was raised that a child's supposed to stay in a child's place and not interrupt or correct an adult. Let's take a listen.
That girl in her class, I'm correcting her.
But my thing is, you're right. She possibly misspoke or she didn't know.
I guess my question to you is, why do you even feel compelled at this juncture in this interview? Why would you even feel compelled to try to...
Because I'm not defending. But my thing is that what I'm trying to say, most adults, when kids correct them or speak, feel some type of way. This is not unique to a black, white, or white, black. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you took it that way. But I remember when I was growing up, my grandparents and parents said, hey, kids, stay in your place. Adults are speaking. That's all. Maybe that didn't happen where you were from in Orlando, Florida. But where I grew up, when I grew up, kids did not correct adults. So I apologize if you thought it came off as combative.
No problem.
So that was super awkward. So here's my opinion. I think both of them have valid points. Now, Shannon was brought up old school, and yes, that is absolutely correct. We could not correct an adult. Our parents, teachers, anybody that was an authority figure or grown, we couldn't correct them. It's just like if you think about it, how you about to get a whooping and you trying to explain what really happened and they don't allow you to tell what really happened and you got to take that whooping. Just like when they tell you to be quiet, you have to be quiet. I get where Shannon was, coming from. Now, Amanda, yeah, I think that it's a way based on where she's from, the environment that she's in, the behaviors or the what they're able to do that, in other communities can't get away with that. She was just doing what's normal, but it was a way that she could have done that. She said she raised her hand, maybe, but she's a child. We got to remember that she's a child. So if she had raised her hand and said, hey, I remember it being this way or that way, maybe the teacher would not have taken it, as if she was trying to demean her or, correct her, as a child. But there's some validity in there. Do we in a learning environment, do we not ask questions, when we know some facts in this learning environment? It may have been a different way, but as a child, maybe Amanda didn't know. That's the way she needed to do it. So I can see both sides, but at the end of the day, the teacher is the adult, and she was more than within her right to call a parent-teacher conference. And then too, we have to also listen. In the interview, this was not one occurrence. This is a pattern of Amanda. Not saying Amanda was wrong for wanting to give the right information, but at the same time, as a child, maybe Amanda could have taken it to her mom, dad, this is auntie, this is what the teacher was saying in the classroom today, and I know it to be this way. Maybe the parent or the custodial parent or whoever, the guardian, could have taken it up with the teacher. But sometimes kids just don't know, and they have no filters. They just don't care, even back then. But we got to think about her environment. What are the things that what are the things they are able to get away with that in other communities, we can't get away with that? Because in my classroom, there is no way I would have been able to get away with that. No, I knew for sure to go to the teacher after class, but I, to be honest, I just didn't know anyway. But that's my opinion. I don't think Shannon was wrong, in my opinion, in this situation. So y'all let me know what you think about the interview as a whole, about this one piece of snippet from the interview. Let me know in the comments what were your thoughts about, staying in a child's place. Amanda correcting the teacher. Was she wrong? Was Shannon wrong? Let me know what you think. Look, y'all like up this video, hit subscribe, and listen. Y'all have a good day on purpose. Bye.